Lately, we've had lots of time to reflect. Reflect on those things that bring us joy, on those things that we've lost, on those people that we've lost. And as we struggle to find new ways to connect, it's really important to remember the connection within ourselves. When we heal ourselves, we heal the world. Hi, I'm Amy, and I am so excited to be sharing this series, Loving the Artist Within, with an amazing woman and somebody that I'm very fortunate to call friend, Shane Baskin. She has been a part of the Charlotte creative scene for over 20 years, and I'm so inspired by her and what she's been able to create successfully with her business and her art. But I was surprised she hadn't always called herself artist. Let's meet Shane and find out how she connected to the artist within, how she chose happiness and discovered what brought her joy. Shane, I'm so excited to have you with us this week. So let other people know who you are.
Well, that's kind of a big ask. Well, I'm Shane Baskin. I've been in Charlotte since about 92. Came here as a photography intern. Ended up in the photography business and still in it. Turned it, from a photo assistant to photographer to producer to owning a production company. In a nutshell.
There wasn't really a whole lot of still production companies.
No, there were none. One of the photographers said, well, you're basically being a producer. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I could get paid for this. And it was a natural thing because having been on the other side, I had a good, my thumb on the pulse of what still photographers might need for their jobs.
That's awesome. And how long have you been in business?
Well, I started literally from that internship in 92. My production company, Blackbox, has been going since end of 2004. So I would say beginning of 2005.
Wow. And it's still going strong. That's like a testament.
Yeah.
And you're not only a producer for still photography, but you're also helping other newer photographers and, being able to hire people that might not have been known otherwise.
Yeah. Of course, we hire people in the local community. We're really big on supporting our locals. But we also do, we'll host classes from colleges. And I have one from App State that comes every year. It's a production class. And, we do exercises on how to do bids and, answer questions. And I always give them, hey, if you have jobs, you need help on a project, we'll let them come in and use our stuff. We'll help them. We put that out there. So, we feel like the more we can boost these young people up in the business and the community, it's connections for us as well.
Yeah. How important is connection?
Oh, it's huge. Not only just a personal level, but, on a business level, it's really important because people like to work with people that they like. That's one of the things I found, they want to work with people they enjoy being around. So connecting with them, not only on a business level, but a personal level helps business. And I don't even need to talk about how important connection is to people. Keeps us human, right?
Yeah.
It's inspiring. I like to be around other people that inspire me. So I think it's very important.
So you've been doing this for many years.
Many years.
And was there ever a time when you felt like you were burning out, like this, what am I doing? Is this it?
Oh yeah. I would say maybe the first time I started feeling that was 2010, 11, 12. It kind of came and went. When you're a producer and you have a production company, you really are on 24/7 because something happens in the evening. People are in town for jobs. They realize they need something and they need it by tomorrow at 6 a.m. You have to make it happen. So you're always available. So yeah, burnout is really, really common and it comes and goes. I remember one time it just hit me really hard and I had fallen kind of out of love with the photography part of it. I never take cameras on vacation. It feels like work to me. So I realized I just wasn't enjoying any part of the business anymore. And I decided to take a trip. I took a trip to Iceland, and I specifically went to take photos. And I set my mind to that, like, I am going there to take photos. And that's what I focused on. I took a tour with a one-on-one tour to have somebody take me to all these amazing places. I hiked across like all this ice to go to these beautiful ice caves. I laid in the sand while the surf like rolled up on me with my camera, got soaking wet. The people on the bus thought I was a nut. But I said, I came here to get this photo. This is why I came. And I got it. And it actually made me appreciate and love, photography again. Whether I'm taking the pictures or not for my business, it just kind of gave me new inspiration to, I guess, to reconnect with the passion I have for that craft.
When did you first begin to love the artist in yourself?
That's kind of a funny question, because it took me a long time to even consider the fact that I had an artist within. I never really considered myself an artist, just somebody who likes to make stuff. Yes, I know I'm creative. I'm one of those people, I feel like everybody's creative. I don't believe in I'm not creative. I think creativity kind of manifests in different ways. It doesn't have to be in a traditional art form. So yes, I've always been creative, but I would not have called myself an artist, because I felt like you had to be an artist, that's what you had to do. That's all you do is art. You paint, or you do pottery, or you do some kind of craft, that's considered art. So I guess it's been very recent that I decided I was okay with considering myself an artist.
How has recognizing and honoring the artist within changed your perspective?
It kind of made me look at myself and realize that I'm okay with being someone who likes to do a lot of different things. I had to accept that about myself, and not just accept it, but love it. I love the fact that I like to try a lot of different things. My friends all love it. They tease me about it. Like, what are you doing today? How many different projects do you have going on? And part of that is I'm impatient. So I like to be able to start a project, and if I can't finish it because of the process that it needs to go through, I need to have something else to go, because I get in this kind of role that I want to keep creating and making. So, I'd start another project alongside it that I can jump back and forth. And sometimes they may sit for a while. I might get to a point where I'm just kind of over it for the moment. Doesn't mean I'm done. It just means I need to set it aside, play with something else. And I would say almost always come back to it. I just kind of cycle through the things that I like to do. And it kind of keeps me interested, and it keeps me from getting bored. And I'm okay with being that kind of person. That's I guess what I had to do is figure that's a good thing about me. It means, I guess you call it a superpower. It doesn't hinder me. It actually makes me better. It makes me more adventurous. I learn more things. I can apply those things to other things, and it just kind of broadens my horizons, I guess.
Yeah, I love that. So we talked about kind of burnout. There comes a time in everyone's life that they just feel like things aren't going the way that they should, and they either give up or they get burned out. What are some tips that you could give to other artists to help them?
I think this could apply to art. It could apply to work. It could apply to a lot of things. But my advice is to, if something is you're feeling burned out on something, take a different direction. It's not that you're giving up on what you're doing, but sometimes when you take a different path, or you try something new, try something different, it can lead you back to what you were doing with like new invigorated feelings, new ideas. Find a different way to do it to see if you can love it again. But I also am a firm believer, to be honest, that if something isn't making you happy anymore, nobody says you have to keep doing it. Nobody says the path you're on now has to be the path you stay on forever and ever. I don't believe in that. I think for me, the last few years of my life, what's become more and more important is to be happy and to enjoy my life, to enjoy what I'm doing. And then if I quit enjoying it, I will put it aside. And if I want to come back to it one day, then I do. And if I don't, I'm okay with that.
That's great. It's almost like you're choosing happiness.
Yeah, I totally believe happiness is a choice. To find joy is a choice. And to enjoy things are your choice. Or you just do things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
I believe happiness is a choice. Yeah, it starts inside. People who will disagree with that statement, I know it's a little controversial. This is what I would tell them is, happiness is not external. You don't get happiness from a person or a place or a thing. You get happiness in here. And then when you are with that person or go to that place or have that thing, it just enhances your happiness. It doesn't create it. That's all in here.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
When I first started doing pottery, I just decided I wanted to do a class, right? So I did, and I loved it. So I kept going, took more classes. And one of the classes I took, we had to make a bottle form on a wheel. Mine was like this big. All of ours were like that big. But something in that shape, it took hold of me. And I kept going and going and wanting to make them bigger and bigger. And it's all I did. I would go in and I would make bottles. Everybody else is taking these, they're doing the shapes from his demos. And I would watch the demos and I would go back to making these bottles. So this is one of my favorites.
Oh my gosh, that is beautiful.
Thank you. So it was made with a variety of techniques that he taught me. Something about the shape took hold of me and I just couldn't let it go. Like I had to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until I got to where I made those. And I made a few of them, and I haven't made pottery in years. It's not that I don't love it anymore. I accomplished what I wanted and I took a break from it to try other things, but there was something about it. I had to do it. I had to find a way to get this shape and this whatever connected me to that shape out.
I love the fact that rules didn't apply in that moment where you needed to love the artist within. You needed to honor that shape and that drive. So it took you a while to consider yourself or call yourself an artist. What was that block?
Well, I think a good part of it is, I'm not trained. I didn't study art. I didn't, go to school for it. I wasn't born, just being an artist. Some people are just born with that talent. Or I guess I'm born with it, but I didn't start, I'm not a prodigy, you know what I mean? And I think that might be part of it is I don't feel like I have all that formal training. And maybe that's why it held me back a little bit. But now I kind of feel like not having that formal training, can open doors that I might not have opened. So whereas people use certain techniques that are trained, I don't know those techniques. So I might try a different way. People paint with a brush, I might paint with my fingers, People use different tools and I might try something that normally you wouldn't do because that's not how it's done. And I think that, rules sometimes they're there for a reason and they're good, but maybe sometimes if you don't know the rules, you might find a different way to do it.
What are you going to bring into the new normal?
Well, being quarantined at home, and I'm really sticking to it as, I literally leave to go get groceries, if that, it's kind of made me look for creative ways to do things, to entertain myself and to learn more. I'm focusing on, instead of saying, well, I'm going to do this one day, I'm trying to do it now. Like I'm taking Spanish classes online, I wanted to learn Spanish for years. So now I set aside a time, through the day, and I'm going to spend at least an hour and a half on doing that. That's actually, this whole COVID thing is what made me try and take up painting. Not try and take up, it's made me take up painting. I had an art box here that's my mother's. She likes to paint, and she's very good at it. And she actually needs to see this, because my mother truly does have an artistic heart, and she has a lot of talent, but she won't accept it. She won't accept the talent. She won't accept that she thinks she's not good enough. And she's got these expectations that if she can't live up to, then she won't do it. And I think it's sad, because she's very good. And I want her to learn how to love it, just for doing it.
What's the one tip that you could give other artists who might be struggling right now? Or what's a tip that you could give to anyone who might be struggling to honor and love the artist within themselves?
Let it go. I mean that in more way than one. Let go the artist within. Don't feel pressured to live up to any expectation from anyone else, or even yourself. I've never wanted to paint, or never thought I could paint, let me put it that way, because I can't draw, so I probably can't paint. And just the other day, I let go of that. I let go of my fear of not being good at it. And I slapped some paint around, and decided to do a Bob Ross tutorial. He's awesome, by the way. People make fun of him, but I love him. And one of the things I love, and people make fun, they say, oh, he says, happy little tree. You know what saying I love that he says is, it just doesn't matter. I love that. He says, put a tree here, put one there. It really just doesn't matter. And he's so right. It just doesn't matter. Just do it. So there you go. So let go of your fear, let go of your inhibition, and let that artist go.
I love it. Thank you so, so much.
You're welcome.
You inspire me all the time.
Oh, thank you, girl. You make me feel good. Thanks for asking me. It was a big honor. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for watching. We all have the ability to choose happiness. That's our superpower. What will you do to bring more joy into your life, to bring more connection, and to love the artist within?